If a white man could unite 5 countries under one British agenda, what is the agenda of the Africans that is making us not to unite? And what kind of an agenda must we create so that we can find a reason for ourselves to unite? And I am heading off to meet with the president of Burkinafaso.
Hello, what's popping? Welcome to my YouTube space. Of course, I am the Kenyan Beast and we are doing it the African way every day, every time. Now, in today's video, I'm going to talk about Joshua Maponga. This is a Pan-Africanist. Usually talk about Pan-Africanism and the support of unity, African unity, the support of Ibrahim Traore, what he's doing. And the recent video, he has told us that he is going to meet with Ibrahim Traore to discuss some things. I don't know what they are going to discuss, but again, Dr. Arikana said she's going to meet with Ibrahim Traore. As we have said, Ibrahim Traore is the father of Pan-Africanists. Not the father, okay? Not the father. Of course, we have had good Pan-Africanists have been there for so long. Joshua Maponga has been there for so long. Dr. Arikana has been there for so long. And other leaders who are speaking about the true Pan-Africanism, the true meaning of African unity. But Ibrahim Traore has come here to actualize now the deal. He is showing that it can happen. Now, I want you to watch this video of Joshua Maponga, and then we'll come back again and talk about it, okay?
If a white man could unite 5 countries under one British agenda, what is the agenda of the Africans that is making us not to unite? And what kind of an agenda must we create so that we can find a reason for ourselves to unite? And I am heading off to meet with the president of Burkinafaso, Honorable President Traore himself. For the next 5 to 6 days, I'll be in Burkina Faso to collect some software and some intel and learn some lessons as to what is it that Burkina Faso is doing that the rest of our African leaders are scared of doing. I will look him in the eye and I want to have that conversation with him. In the Sohai kingdoms, Mali, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, and the rest of that belt, the Guineas and etc., sooner or later, they might have just to unite with the Traore agenda. But I think in the south here, we are lacking a leader. One who can be able to become the center and the traction of that kind of movement. And in the Sohai space, Traore has picked up the baton. Black people can not only unite when Africans are brought together by a white man, then they have a reason to unite. They'll be smiling, taking pictures, and they all look very, very timid. You know, that kind of a smile that an African gives when he looks in the face of a white man, like he's looking into some mystical space. Hell no. Hell no. If they have an agenda for our unification, we should also have an agenda for our unification.
Decolonize our hair products, decolonize our facial products, decolonize our clothes, decolonize our technology, decolonize our medicines, decolonize our governments, decolonize God, our religion, decolonize our faith, decolonize. Decolonization is a big word. It simply means reset the African body to factory settings. As a technological person, I think you may appreciate that. When your phone is no longer behaving nicely, just delete everything. Reload. Factory settings. And you may just have your phone performing much better. I think we have too many useless apps. $3 to $5 billion of fake hair business running through Africa because the Africans thinks not good enough. Body products, facial products, billions of dollars. Why? Because the African feels not good enough. Not good enough. And that not good enough, when it gets to your mind, you start cutting yourself. adding things and subtracting things, punching. Have you seen some of those celebrities after they come from surgery and they look like Halloween night, look like ghosts from the graveyards? Because when you are not happy with what you are and who you are, life knows no vacuum. You will occupy yourself with the character, behaviors, and habits of those that have colonized you. Decolonization, reset the African mindset to factory settings. My best example I can give you is the student revolution that has happened over students standing with Palestine, Columbia University, Oxford University, South African University, British universities. The whole of America is on fire as we speak right now. Why? Because when the cause is right, it strikes a chord with everybody else. Burkina Faso, Mali, now as of 3 weeks ago, Senegal has even walked onto the stage with a much bolder statement. Pack up and go. Switched off the TVs and what, just go. And anyone who thinks that, see, our age groups, the 40 years and above, we're in the deep end because we are now CEOs of Old Mutual. We're CEOs of multinational companies. We are beneficiaries. We are almost looking forward to our retirement. We don't want the system to change because we benefit. But the students have nothing to lose. They are actually looking forward to a much more integrated society than the parents are. Take note, the opening up of universities to international students. Now here you are, top of the crop, Harvard University, with Pakistani students, with Palestine students, in the same classroom, with Jewish students, and American bigoted parents, students, children, in the same class. Friendships amongst the students. Common understanding. Unity and harmony amongst them. And then your father is the army general in Palestine. And I am a victim. My sister lost her legs and her eyes, and your father killed my sister. The politics changes altogether. So if you're looking at what has happened to Burkina Faso as a joke, the younger generation is beginning to hear a different voice of liberation. That it is possible. We cannot be called Africa and a poor third world dark African continent. When right now we can also speak English. We can recite poetry. We can also run machineries like everybody else. We can create our own fashions. We can do our own engineering. We now know what gold looks like. We now know what diamonds look like. We now know what platinum and lithium can produce. We can also make our own industry and produce our own batteries. No, man, something is not happening here. Someone is not telling the truth here. And that frustration, worse when these young people are now graduating from schools and they can't find employment. Because the colonial system only funnels a few. Mathematics and English, you pass there, then you get to school, you get scholarships, and then they swallow you back. The rest of you go back to work. So, and you cannot run a system which literally tells you failed primary school, you failed high school, you failed your college, and you have all these dumping sites away from school. You start class at primary school, 100 of you. By the time you get to primary school, maybe it's 80 of you. By the time you get to high school, maybe it's only 50 of you. By the time you get to college, maybe it's only 10 of you. By the time you come to graduate school, maybe it's only 3 of you. The same class that you had in your primary school, if right now you said, now you're a doctor, you're a professor, how many of you? It could be 1 or 2. What happened to the other 98? They fizzled out into spaces. And when you look at a system that throws away people like that, frustration begins to grow on the wings. And as such, what happened in Mali, what is happening in Senegal, what is happening in Burkina Faso, what is happening in Niger? See, you're asking that question. Didn't this start in Niger? And then from Niger to Mali, from Burkina Faso, now Senegal. And watch the space as the young people of Africa, just like the Palestine student revolution as it begins to happen. It's very interesting to note. Any government that is going to have elections in the next 2 to 3 years, take an advice from a fool, that is me. You need to watch very carefully the youth vote and the direction of their intentions. The young people are now tired of old goats who go to parliament as a retirement package, who simply go there just to maintain the status quo and continuously show a smile at the United Nations when taking pictures with whites, and come back home here and there's no change. So yes, I can confirm the revolution has started. It will not stop. We'll do well to cooperate with each other to deliver the Africa that we want. And I'm part of that revolution. I was actually prepared. Had France striked Niger, I was ready to go to war myself and go and join him in the liberation of Africa. That is the Che Guevara spirit. The white community, because the black community is already in huge suspicion, the quality of relationships that we are going to establish going forward are not going to be based on the terms of reference of the colonial system where we are coming from. I mean, big kudos to China, big kudos to Russia for coming in, not rightfully so. We don't hear them getting involved directly in terms of fighting, but their support, great support. Even in terms of, we need a big brother, let's be honest, when it comes to security and other things, because the Americans and the British and the French will not take the losses lying down.
Welcome back. Now, that was Joshua Maponga, and he's talking about going to visit Ibrahim Traore, and again he's talking about the unity of Africa. As I talk, or as I say every day, that Africans need to unite. Africans need to unite. The unity of Africa will be the first step of liberation of Africa. Of course, as I said, I always say that we need to believe that this can happen, and we need to ask ourselves if we as African countries, or we as African people, we need to ask ourselves if we really need this unity, okay? Because at some point, maybe, we can unite and create a lot of chaos. As we know, African countries, they are dividing every day. Now, Sudan divided to South Sudan and Sudan. There is Ethiopia here that they want to divide, you know. We had some commotions in Kenya sometimes back when the people of Mombasa wanted to say Mombasa sio Kenya, you know. So a lot is happening in African countries. And that's why I ask, are we ready for a one Africa and some states, you know? Are we ready to fight this battle? Because it needs a lot of composure, it needs understanding, it needs a lot of, you know, just to ignore a lot of things and to focus on one thing, unity. But, you know, we cannot get this unity because a lot of these white people, the supremacy or the colonizer, don't want us Africans to unite simply because they know very well when we unite, it will be the end of them, okay? And the end of their history, or the end of their stories, you know? So they are hindering this unity by all means, you know? When a leader in a country is doing well, when they saw a leader like Thomas Sankara, what they did, they eliminated him, you know? When they see a good leader, what they do is they bring coup d'etat in that country to put their puppet, not a revolution. We have difference between revolution and coup d'etat. So this of Ibrahim Traore, as I say, is revolution. Now, I'm looking forward to see these Pan-Africanists coming together, joining hands and working towards the same agenda, the agenda of uniting. I wanna see Dr. Arkana. I wanna see Joshua Maponga. I wanna see who? I wanna see PLO Lumumba. I wanna see a lot of people who speak the term of unity. I wanna see them coming together and try to do something to see if we can manage to unite. And I want to see these countries, a lot of them, to walk towards the move, to support the motive. Because even if these Pan-Africanists meet and they talk and say, you know what, we need to unite, these leaders who are in power, the presidents, they are the one to support the motive. So after meeting and having this discussion of unity, what next? What next after that is to approach these leaders and to tell them that we need you to join this force of unity, because we need a new Africa. And new Africa will be here if there is no any foreign interference. Because once we have this foreign interference, that means that we don't have new Africa. We have the same Africa. And that's why when Ibrahim Traore came to power, he said no to France and told France to remove its military. Chad, we have this Niger, we have Mali. That is the number one agenda they did, or they said no to foreign interference. Because this foreign interference, they are not here because of our interests. They are here because of their own interests. They are here to protect their own motive. They are here to protect their resources, which is ours. So first step is to say no to foreign interference. And as you know, it is so hard to wake up as a president and say no to America, say no to France, simply because these countries or these colonizers, they are feeding these leaders. They are feeding them with tokens. They are feeding them with, just some things. So it's so hard, very hard, for these leaders to accept the fact that we are building new Africa. This agenda can only actualize if these leaders accept this new agenda of making Africa great. Because I cannot say we are making Africa great again. What I can say is that we are making Africa great. That's all I can say. But we need these Pan-Africanists to speak out. We need them first to see if they can unite. After them uniting, that's where we can start thinking about how to approach these presidents. Because someone like William Ruto, to be, for example, this guy, I'm not sure if he's ready for this discussion, because he's a true puppet. We are seeing example of puppets in William Ruto. Okay, I don't know if he can manage to do that for us. But after this Pan-Africanist meeting with Ibrahim Traore, you want to hear the agenda of Ibrahim Traore, you want to know what he really wants for the country of Africa. Then after that, approaching these leaders, or approaching each and every Pan-Africanist in these countries. For example, going to South Africa, meeting Julius Malema, in Kenya, PLO Lumumba, and others who have the same motive. Because after that, that's where we can know what's the way forward. But one thing for sure is that unity of Africa is the only way that we can manage to conquer. Yeah, only by that. That's step number one. After that, we can think for some other things. We can think of what to do next. But first of all, the unity of Africa, the unity of Africans, the unity of, everyone who have this same agenda. And every day we are telling the youths that, youths, what you need to do is to stay away from this ideology of the traditional people, like the traditional ideology. I believe we can have rapid change in Africa. I believe we can have good leaders. I believe we can have a government or a country free from foreigners. I believe we can have our own resources produced in our own countries. I believe a lot of things can be done. But one thing for sure, to stay away from the foreign interference. So let's see what the meeting of Joshua Maponga and Ibrahim Traore will, the outcome of it. Let's see what is the real talk. Let's see what will happen, and then we see the way forward. But youths, I'll urge that let's stand firm and let's fight this battle, and let's see if we can change the traditional way to our modern way. Okay, tell me in the comment section what do you think about Joshua Maponga meeting Ibrahim Traore, Dr. Arkana meeting Ibrahim Traore. What are they talking about? Do you think it's for our interest as Africans and black people? Tell us in the comment section, because I noticed that a lot of black Americans are supporting, Afro-Caribbeans are supporting, every black person is supporting Ibrahim Traore. Tell me what you think on the comment section. Until next episode, peace be with you.